Hi everyone, this is Buidler Salam from Pace Media, and in this video I want to talk about dynamic content versus static content in your Elementor page builder pro version. In every content area it can be populated with dynamic content. It is available in Elementor pro version. And if you are not using pro version, then this is not your issue. But if you are using pro version and you have these features, so with this dynamic content, your website design can be more dynamic. And so let's discuss the pros and cons, advantages and disadvantages of dynamic content and static content. Here, first, development cost. You have to consider development cost of the project, of your website or the website of your client. Development of static content is less expensive, means not time consuming, and it's cheaper. So if the project is small, budget is small, and you don't have to update frequently, such as a small company website, and you don't have to update the content frequently, then static content is your best choice. Development cost for dynamic content is more higher than the static content. And site performance, as you know, for the dynamic content, the content has to be retrieved from the database, and it needs more high infrastructure in your server, web hosting, and in terms of site performance, static content is better. First point, static content price cheaper. Second point, site performance, static content is better. In static content, you have to load only the basic contents stored in your web server, like CSS, HTML, or JavaScript, images, etc. So in terms of site performance, it is better. In terms of SEO too, there is not much different. Dynamic contents are sometimes better, but for search engine indexing, static content is better. Static content is easier to be indexed by the search engines. So in my opinion, it is easier for us in SEO, search engine optimization. It is easier for us to optimize static content than the dynamic content. So in terms of SEO too, I vote for static content. Navigation, in terms of navigation, dynamic content is much better than static content. In dynamic contents, the contents are dynamically linked with other contents in the website, in the web of network. So in terms of navigation, smoothness, navigation is dynamic content is better than static content. Responsiveness, in terms of responsiveness to dynamic content is better. In dynamic contents are retrieved from the database and adapt to the scenario, adapt to the browsers, or it's adaptable. So dynamic content is better in terms of responsiveness in terms of functionality. Static content is static function. So in terms of functionality too, dynamic content is much better. Maintenance costs, maintenance costs for static content, dynamic content is lesser than static content, but that's not problem for now. Now we can edit the dynamic content through Elementor Pro version, or Elementor Page Builder. So maintenance costs, in terms of maintaining costs, there is nothing to be concerned about for static content. Before that, if your website is static content is developed with only CSS, HTML or HTML website, then you have to edit the code whenever you have to update. So in updating the static content was much higher, cost much higher, but now we update the static content in WordPress Elementor Page Builder. So there is not much difference between the two. But one thing about the maintenance is that easier for the maintenance is easier for the dynamic content. You can you're familiar with the global widget of Elementor, yeah. So it's available on Elementor Pro version 2, and it's like dynamic contents are like the global widgets. You can edit one thing and affect the entire website or different pages of the website. In static content, if you want to edit, you have to make changes page by page. So if your website is big, yeah, lots of pages, thousands of hundreds of pages, then dynamic content is best choice for you. But if your website is only about 10 to 20 pages, and then static content is best for you. In terms of cost, site performance, SEO, maintenance costs, or easier for us to design, is dynamic static content is the best choice. But for the large websites mean lots of pages and frequently updated websites like newspaper website, news websites, dynamic content is better. So choose your best choice. Dynamic content, let me talk something more about dynamic content. Dynamic content can be added through custom fields. Yeah, custom fields, you may have familiar with custom fields. You can add custom fields here. Now here say options, custom fields, enable reload. Here this is the area for custom fields. You can add your own custom fields by installing a plugin. Add new. Advanced custom fields. Okay, this advanced custom field ports are the best choices. Here you can see 1 million plus active installations, 90,000 plus installations. Advanced custom fields or ports are the best choices for custom fields. You can add your own custom fields and you can design your custom fields inside Elementor. I suggest you buy the Elementor Pro version if you want to have custom fields, design your custom fields inside Elementor. And if you want to buy Elementor Pro version, please buy through my affiliate link and please support me. And that's for today, for this video. So for the less frequently updated website, for a small website, or for low performance server, or more affordable, cheaper web hosting, then static content is best choice for you. And you don't have to buy Elementor Pro version. In Elementor free version, you can design the static website. So low budget, low website, static content is for you. Thanks for watching again. Please don't forget to like this video, comment or subscribe my YouTube channel.